I just said, why not? Really, that's the answer. Why not? Like, why not learn another culture, learn another language, get immersed and hopefully help some people out. Why not? And it's definitely, I'm going to tell you, going to be out of my comfort zone. So it's just about diving in, making it work, and going on an adventure and just trusting that everything's going to work out. And so I think it's just been amazing, and I'm so glad that I just did it. Officially on my way to Romania. Just got into my taxi heading to the airport. I can't believe this day is finally here. I'm so excited. So I finally landed in Bucharest. It's a long day of travel, but I'm so excited to be here. I actually decided to tack on 3 days onto this volunteer trip for me to just check out the city. So I got here in Bucharest. I'm going to be touring around for a couple days. I'm going on a walking tour of the city tomorrow just to get a feel for the culture and the history. And then the day after, I'm going to Transylvania. I'm going to go check out some of the medieval castles. So it's going to be a ton of fun. And then I'm headed to the volunteer area on Saturday. So really packing it in, trying to soak in the culture, and have the best time possible before I head out to the volunteer trip portion and hopefully make a big impact on these kids, and they'll do the same on me. I've always wanted to take a volunteer trip. So Salesforce gives us 7 days, business days a year. And I've always heard of people, I've had coworkers that have gone, not on V2I, but have gone on volunteer trips before, and they just were always raving about it. So ultimately this came up. It just kind of popped into my chatter feed, which is our internal platform where we communicate at work, and things just kind of aligned, and it was, I think, January. And so that was heading in, it was now my 5th year. And I said, this just makes sense. Like, I'm just gonna make it work this time and make it happen. So that's kind of how that came about. I love traveling and surround myself with a lot of people who do love traveling. And I think it would have been great to do this with someone I knew, but it was more important for me to make it happen and just go. So I just signed up and I just went. Anytime I've been out of my comfort zone, at the end of it, it's always so rewarding. And so it's really gonna be a lot of that, I hope. I think just becoming more well-rounded in what I can offer a community will probably be the best thing I could get out of this. What's really been blowing me away is the fact that everyone's donating their time. So even when it comes down to the teachers, even the group here, all coming together for a very worthy community. So I think that's been really standing out to me. For the second day, I was very surprised that all the kids remembered us from the day before. I thought we made some good impressions and some good connections, but to definitely see them like so happy and smiling when we walked in, I think that definitely surprised me, and it was really nice. I think I had mentioned the first time we had a discussion about how this might impact me, and I didn't really know, and I was saying things around just going ahead and getting out of my comfort zone. So I will say I'm definitely out of my comfort zone. I'm just in my day-to-day a leader, and I've been definitely a follower here. So that's been a different gear for me. I really wanted to make sure that we came in, and I came in especially, with the right approach for this community and for these kids, and having no idea about their culture or their backgrounds outside of the information I'd heard about, and just trying to bring that forward to our day-to-day. I wanted to make sure it was handled in the right way. So the way that I've been approaching it yesterday and today is by kind of observing a little bit and just making sure that I had a good gauge and understanding for the community, where the kids are at developmentally, how well that they work and trust the adults, and that's all just been pretty easy to understand. They're all very trusting, very open, very welcoming. So that was really my approach, just to kind of hang back and then fit in where I can. The remainder of this week, we've got a couple more sessions. So there's a few things that we've seen that have really taken off with the kids. They obviously like to use their English, they like to kind of show off sometimes their skills, so we want to foster that a little bit more. The other thing I'm looking forward to is on Thursday, so 2 days from now, Alex and I, one of my colleagues at Salesforce, we're leading a networking session. So we're sitting down with the young adults at the transit center and just walking them through what is networking, why is that important. Again, coming from day 1 yesterday to day 2, a couple things that we noticed. One of the volunteers had actually overheard a conversation of one of the little boys saying, I was initially thinking that this camp wasn't going to be any fun, and I actually had fun today, so I'm coming back tomorrow. So we were all like, yes, that's exactly what we wanted. A couple of us really connected with some of the little girls, and so they came right up, gave us a big hug, and kind of gave some of us nicknames, and so that was a big change where they actually had that connection and they were kind of showing love to us, which was really nice. One thing I want to mention just so far checking in on this experience is that I'm definitely glad I did it. I think it's been a lot of preparation work on behalf of everyone. Everyone's put a lot of time and effort into this session and this trip, and it's clearly paying off. So glad that I came, so glad that we all came for this, and I think that we're going to make the impact that we were hoping to make. So it's been great. We tackled a lot today. Started off with some dance, we did some computers. I think it was a full day. So we started off with the little kids and we ended up at the transit center with the young adults doing a session. So definitely a long one. We had a lot of fun today. I think, at least I feel like I hit my stride today. I finally understand what's going on and how to interact with everyone, so it was a great one. I was very pleasantly surprised with how much participation we got. I really expected, I don't know why, I just go back to school and it was like, teacher, and I have to do this thing, but it really felt like they were engaged and most importantly, getting something out of the content today. So I heard, and I think the most important, what was kind of standing out to me was really two things. One is we introduced the concept of LinkedIn. So one of our teammates here, Will, had brought up LinkedIn, and that was something that everyone was writing down and taking away. The other thing is that when we were going around and listening to the small group discussions and we were kind of moderating them, there was so much genuine conversation, and I think that they're going to get some real skills to apply in their day-to-day. In terms of my day-to-day at Salesforce and how it translates to what we're doing here with our volunteer work, I think it's just, you're talking to someone you've never spoken to before and you're having a serious conversation. So at work it's a very different conversation, but it's always trying to find the commonality, find the common ground, and get it done and have some fun. So I think those three things I use a lot at work, and I just carried those over to my experience this week. And I think day 4 today, I hit my stride. I think it was a lot of like feeling it out, and we were hitting multiple organizations in one day. So to be able to understand where I plug in and where I make an impact with the young kids, the kids who are slightly older, and then the young adults, as we call them at the transit center, I think it was a little bit, I wouldn't say difficult, but it took me a minute to get my footing on how I can plug in very easily and make an impact. So I think today, day 4, hit my stride with the community, and then I also think with my teammates. I think we've all built that trust and that rapport, and it feels actually like a family right now. I think I'll be sad when it's over. When we first had arrived in Romania, there was the volunteers who were departing from week 1, and the kind of the advice and the insight they gave us was that the week is going to fly by. And day 1, I was like, wow, this is intense. This is a lot, and it's tall order that we're doing every day. And they were actually right. So after day 1, and all of a sudden here we are at day 7, and it's kind of flown by, and it's been an incredible week. Couldn't have imagined meeting so many incredible people. So it's been a great one. So last night we had a little bit of a team debrief for the group here in Romania, and we were all kind of reflecting on that. And the one thing that I was saying that this trip had an impact on me is that I just was free. I'm a doer, I'm very type A. I've got, if anyone knows me, they'll tell you I have 5 to-do lists, and I basically can do it all. I just try and juggle and balance, and it's because I'm very organized, but that comes at a price, right? Like, I'm never just sitting, relaxing, enjoying. I'm just very high functioning and very, very go, go, go. And I think that the biggest impact was just reminding me that personal connections and just allowing yourself to be and doing something that you enjoy, like giving back to a community, is so important. I think the most fulfilling part would be just the connections I have made. I met people from my company here. I met people from all walks of life, young, old, somewhere in between. And I know I've got these connections, hopefully for life. And I think that's a great thing. And an example of that is I met a teammate here, and she's interviewing for a position in my company, and I'm a hiring manager, so I sat down and was just giving her some advice, and that made me feel good that I can give someone some advice, and hopefully that might be helpful. And that was something I didn't expect. Again, I think I'll bring home is just a reminder to take that time and to kind of be a little bit more free sometimes, and just allow yourself to be and experience the joys in life. I think that will definitely happen. And the other thing I'm going to bring back is I would love to do this again. So I want to see potentially what the opportunities might hold for me next year. And if things are kind of smooth in life, I think I would love to bring this back and experience this in another community and hopefully another trip. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of work to get here. So I have a lot of responsibility, I have a lot of customers that depend on me, and I have a lot of employees that depend on me. And to carve out a week, and I actually spent some additional time in country, I spent an additional 3 days, so call it about a week and a half, to be able to get a week and a half out of the office when I have a lot of responsibility is a difficult thing. So it was a lot of work to get here, and I did actually question, like, why am I adding another thing to my plate? But I know myself enough to know that I wasn't gonna regret it, and when I was there, going to have a good time. So when people were saying, are you excited to go? How's it going? I actually was expressing I was overwhelmed, because I had to set aside everything in the personal life, everything in the work life, to be able to go on this volunteer trip. And so I think that it well beyond went through my expectations and above. So if you can just imagine getting that all set aside and getting yourself to this experience, definitely won't regret it, and it's going to enrich your life, and that's how I feel it's been for me.